Here is an explanation for the answer to final exam question number 93 in Electronics Demystified, 2nd edition. If you have the printed book, you'll find it on page 438. The question asks us about building a unidirectional antenna for use at a frequency of 21 megahertz. We want to be able to physically rotate it to choose the direction of maximum radiation and response. We want it to exhibit forward gain of several decibels relative to a half-wave dipole. Which of the following designs represents the best choice? Well, the correct choice in this question is C, the Yagi antenna, designed by a couple of Japanese engineers, Yagi and Uda. So sometimes it's also known as a Yagi-Uda array. The other choices here are directional to an extent, but impractical, or else they don't exhibit any gain relative to a half-wave dipole. A long wire, we can't rotate an antenna like that conveniently if we want it to have a gain of several decibels. So choice A is wrong. B, a ZEP. Well, similarly, we can't really rotate that, and it won't exhibit any gain relative to a dipole anyway. A dish antenna, it would have to be huge. At 21 megahertz, it would have to be hundreds of meters in diameter. It's not something we can practically do in everyday life. I mean, we might be able to do it if we have a budget of a few $1 million and a whole lot of real estate. Isotropic, that actually doesn't exhibit any gain relative to a dipole. It exhibits loss. And anyway, that is a non-directional antenna. So choices D and E are out. Yagi is the correct choice, and this is a modified version of figure 12-10, I believe. It's in chapter 12. It shows roughly the design parameters for a Yagi antenna, and at 21 megahertz, just to use an example, the driven element, the length in feet, would be 470 divided by 21 from end to end, the length in feet. So we can actually work that out as about 22.38, about 22 feet 5 inches from end to end would be the length of the driven element, so a little over 11 feet on either side of the boom, that's right here. Maximum radiation goes from the reflector to the director, and maximum response, of course, the other way. These antennas, the Yagi antenna at 21 megahertz, is very commonly used by ham radio operators with rotators, and it is unidirectional. So once again, the correct choice in this question is choice C.